Fala, seus medonhos. E aí, cambada de muquirana. Bento Carneiro na arma. Vampiro profissional, vampiro brasileiro. Mais uma missão aqui, ó. Missão de negociação. Essa missão aqui, ó. Fale com a pessoa no comando da nave. Ó. Você é um ser humano? Esperava o quê? Não, você não tá vendo. Sou um monstro esquisito, assustador, com tentáculos.
Clearly you're not. You're obviously human, but how are you here?
Não sabia que outros tinham saído da Terra.
Their first contact with anyone. And you, like that. I hope you...
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. This is security officer. And this is Doctor.
A pleasure to meet you.
Espera, deixa eu adivinhar. Você vai me pedir algum tipo de favor? O que é essa nave?
You've come aboard the Earth colony ship Constant.
Puta, ela ia dizer ali, ó.
You've come aboard the Earth colony. Generations ago, we set forth from the planet Earth with the mission of colonizing a new habitable world in the spirit of our ancestors nearly a million. Oh. Hopefully it won't. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... Communications haven't been successful, so perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves.
Vamos ver.
We're not entirely sure. Our engineers believe it's possible to our technology, just it's all we hear when using them to communicate with anyone is a bunch of disturbing noise.
Como vocês todos sobreviveram por 200 anos?
Well, the short answer is, we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to... It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination, though it would seem that was perhaps a bit...
Então você sabe sobre pessoas na superfície?
We do. Well, sort of. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea.
Incrível, 200 anos, por que demoraram tanto tempo para chegar aqui?
Ah, your question confirms one of our... It would seem that some form of faster-than-light travel or space-bending technology... That would explain why we would find people this far out into space. I can only imagine that our predecessors didn't believe the tech...
Não vou mentir, você está pedindo demais. Sabe, esses outros são seres humanos, eles chegaram aqui primeiro. Eu adoraria saber mais, mas talvez seja melhor a gente sair dessa esclusa primeiro.
Oh yes, of course. Where are my manners? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. Dr. DeCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Vamos lá.
I will follow you to the bridge, man. For security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant.
Bem-vindo à nave da
colonização. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened.
We've got strict rules around
here. He gathered the best
here.
and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time, as you saw down
Galera, ó.
Lived and died on the ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Para que não dê treta, senão vai morrer muita gente aqui. Os caras tudo de escopeta. Ó. E se eu tiver razão? Grandes esperanças. É o Zé Xereta.
Never seen a ship like this before. Then again, I haven't seen ships before you arrived.
Quite a heritage to have brought this
Os caras capricharam nos banheiros.
worthy of the pride these portraits show.
The
Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't.
I am both shocked and impressed that all of this is still functional.
Now that you're here, I can finally give my crew a chance at a new life.
Há quanto tempo
I
você
think
está no
I'm coming
comando?
up on 6 years now. I was only a teenager when my father died. Because of that, I've had to sort of learn as I go along. And I think some people on the ship resent me for not having the level of experience as my
Como tá a tripulação?
A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering them. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit for. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but
Eles querem posar nesse navio aí, pessoal. Eles querem posar e eles querem me ajudar.
difficult is the wrong. Our mission was to rebuild humanity on a distant world. To think that while there has always been a Brackenridge in the captain's chair, that I am the one to find. But with this stumbling block in our path, at this final moment, I fear tough choice. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat.
Qual é o problema do seu sistema de comunicação?
We suspect that our equipment is woefully obsolete. In all honesty,
Obsoleto.
we even attempted communicate. If anything, it may.
O que eu ganho?
I wish I could say that the satisfaction. I'm sure we can pull together some resources. We'll do what we can to make it worth.
Parece que você só está tentando jogar as partes difíceis para a pessoa. Eu vou ajudar.
We know there's a settlement on the planet below, meaning people were here. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate.
Por que não procurar outro planeta?
Based on the data our ancestors had when they launched this endeavor, it was determined that
Esse é o
even
planeta
if we had
perfeito.
another viable candidate planet, we lack the resources to get there. And as you know, it took us 200 years to get here. Our people have no desire to go back to drifting the stars, so their children's.
Tá. Se esse planeta é de vocês, como foi que outras pessoas se estabeleceram aqui?
When we left Earth, there were no claims to planets this far out in. We had assumed that we were the only ones attempting a generational journey. Regardless, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, did manage to file a charter. According to his records, no one took it seriously when he filed it, so likely it was either ignored or the record. Given humanity's lack of interest in colonizing the far reaches of space at the time, it
Ah, já tô até tonto. Eu posso fazer isso.
Excellent. Make no mistake, this is our planet, and we. So, speak with their leadership and see if you can negotiate a solution on our. Report back to me and let me know what they say.
Você tá maluco? Eles nunca vão aceitar isso. Tá bom, mas não prometo que eu conseguirei convencê-los.
Now, it makes little sense to give up before you try.
Meio estranho isso aqui, hein? Esse cara.
I know Captain Brackenridge has essentially given you free rein to wander the ship. But security will still be. I hope you understand. It pays to take security seriously. Something I understand much better now than in my youth.
Você achando?
Am I glad you want some sort of aliens?
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
É uma nave antiga, cheia de segurança.
address threats coming from outside our ship.
Piloting the old constant, but I'm looking forward to flying some new ships when this is all over.
Now that we know what's out there, things are gonna be more interesting.
Isqueiro da velha terra. Sai daí, cara. Olha lá o chave de fenda.
Careful waving that fancy gun around.
Só tô dando uma checada
Now that
aqui,
we know what's
pessoal.
out there, things are going to be more interesting from here on.
Tem alguma coisa interessante. E essa aqui quem
No
é?
matter the outcome, I won't. We didn't believe anyone would be out here. Don't forget to tell of us in your travels.
É a comandante. E se eu tiver razão? O restante do livro segue lucubrando utopias futuras, embora haja certa coerência nas ideias do autor. Trecho da última autobiografia, Hubert. Mas o que o futuro nos reserva é uma crise, quer acreditamos ou não. Grandes esperanças. Primeiro romance, história do amadurecimento jovem órfão.
Careful waving that fancy gun.
Ó. Hack.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
We've got strict rules around here. They're strict.
Muito mala.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't
Ó.
seen
Mais um cano aqui, ó. Cargo Bay, Medical Bay.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Que legal.
Live my entire life.
Colona.
These are exciting times. Such a long time to survive on only the fruits that can be grown here. I suppose we need the GP. There was not an option.
Ah. Uau.
I've heard about you, but
Hey!
Just stay out.
Galera, rapaz.
Sure is nice to know there are other people out there.
And to think, all this time, we thought we were alone.
Hey there.
Hey there.
I wonder what it's like out there, being in our little community.
There's so much more to learn about now. Wow.
I wonder what else is out there.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
Tá bom, tá.
The Constant is a peaceful ship.
Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
Onde é que a gente tem que ir? Ué? Ah, não, é aqui, ó. Aqui. Pousar aqui, ó. Sim. Viajar. Escanear. Paradiso. Chegamos em Paradiso. Pousar.
landing site's clear.
Ó, que legal. Aqui é uma outra grande cidade do globo. Local descoberto. Ó. E como é que eu tô? Primeira vez em Paradiso. Uma nave bonita, hein?
We've got some of the best private security in the Sentinel systems.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jirosuke, do you have a security concern, or... Honestly, it's not as exciting. More often than not, we're just... Heck, even pirates leave us alone for the most part. I think it's because some of them actually make...
Ah, o lugar de férias.
Neither. We're our own private force. The Paradiso, and I dare say we're...
Ó, eles não têm nenhuma relação com a União das Colônias e a Confederação Estelar. Freestar.
Something I can help you with? Ah, it has a name. Good. Then you're already familiar.
Eles querem estabelecer aqui, mas não sei se são confiáveis. É uma nave de colonização.
Interesting. We obviously have no record. Whatever the case, you'll need to speak with Oliver, the CEO for the Paradiso Group. He's in charge of bringing... I'll let him know you're on your way.
Agora eu tenho que conseguir liberar o pessoal vindo. Isso aqui. Ó. Valeu, galera. É isso aí. Pedro Carneiro na área. Vampiro brasileiro. Até o próximo vídeo.